Brother Malcolm, page 8 and 9. The Chinese Revolution, they wanted land. The Algerians were revolutionists. They wanted land. France offered to let them be integrated into France. They told France, to hell with France. They wanted some land, not some France. Land. Land, says Brother Malcolm, is the basis of independence. Revolution, says Brother Malcolm, in the final analysis is based on the question of land. L-A-N-D, land. Thus, if you're talking about revolution, you must only be talking about land in the final analysis. L-A-N-D, land. Revolution is not about ecology. Revolution is not about promiscuity. Revolution is not about vulgarity. Revolution is not about the right to take pot. Revolution is about land. L-A-N-D, land. Land. Thus, if we say we are revolutionary, we are talking about taking, seizing, and controlling some land. We must have some land. We must have land. If you don't own land, you are dependent upon those who own the land. We must have land. It is from the land that we get everything. The clothes we wear comes from the land in the form of the cotton that we pick. What we eat comes from the land in the form of the agricultural foodstuffs that we grow. All of the materials necessary for a technological and industrialized society comes from the land in the form of raw resources, copper, zinc, oil, etc., etc., etc. Land, then, is the basis of revolution. Land is what we must fight for. Once we control the land, we will control the superstructure, which is the system that rests upon that land. Land, my brothers and sisters, land if you've been reading Brother Malcolm X. Land if you understand Ho Chi Minh. Land if you understand Mao Zedong. Land if you understand Ahmed Sekou Ture. Land if you understand Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And as simple and humble as I am, I also say land. Land is the basis of revolution. Before we get to talk about land, we must talk about a particular political development in relationship to land that has developed. This is particularly important for us simply because it will deal with our ideology. There has come to develop over the few centuries what is known as settler colonies, or more specifically, European settler colonies. A European settler colony is a land base where the European leaves Europe, comes to somebody else's land, takes over the land, and subjugates the original owners of the land to a most vicious type of system. European settler colony. A European settler colony. The white boy leaves Europe, comes to somebody else's land, takes over the land, imposes his system upon the original owners of the land. The method, the means for doing this is sheer barbaric force. Sheer barbaric force, quite compatible with his nature. My wife is from South Africa. South Africa is a European settler colony. White boys leave Europe, come to our mother continent, rip off the richest part of our continent, and subjugate our brothers and sisters to a most oppressive form of government known as apartheid. Only other place you find such an oppressive form of government is here in North America. Mozambique is a settler colony. Angola is a settler colony. Rhodesia is a settler colony. But we must examine Rhodesia, simply because Rhodesia allows us to understand one of the major characteristics of a settler colony. One of the major characteristics of a settler colony is that they change the name. When the European arrives on the land, he changes the name. He changes the name for two reasons. One, he wants to obviate history at best, and at worst distort it. And two, he wants to legitimatize his existence on the land. Two reasons. He wants to obviate history, or at least distort it. And number two, legitimatize his existence on the land. The real name of Rhodesia is Zimbabwe. The real name of Rhodesia is Zimbabwe. And if one were to understand that, when one begins to study, one would study Zimbabwe. one would see the growth of our ancestors building a civilization and understand Rhodesia as a barbaric interpretation to our way of life. It's very important, because if you don't analyze history correctly, starting with Zimbabwe, one is apt to begin with Rhodesia, which is only a barbaric interpretation.